And ladies and gentlemen, good morning, bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias, bom dia, guten Morgen, Ohio, gozaimasu. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You are watching Stiffy's talk show. I'm Steph. Welcome. And in today's video, I will talk about actually my current experience and where I am right now. You know, Stiffy's talk show is all about exploring, connecting, and invest. So here I am actually exploring, actually connecting, and probably, not necessarily me going to invest, but I will inform you about the information that I've learned based on this country. You know what I mean? You know, it's all about learning. It's all about processing, learning, practicing, and make the right decision, and specifically when it comes to your own money, right? So today I will talk about a country that we do not talk much, to be honest. I don't see this. Personally, I don't hear it. And it's actually quite an interesting country. For those who follow me on my social media, you probably already know what I'm going to say and where I am right now. But I wanted to do a video before I leave this country. I am currently in Central Asia. Guess where I am. In Central Asia. And actually, if you pay attention, we don't talk much about Central Asia. We hear about China, we hear about Singapore, for example, which are close to Central Asia. And obviously, the top news about what's going on in Central Asia regions, of course, but we do not know much about in terms of economy, investments, and that's what I want to mention today. No more surprise, no more suspenses. I am currently in Kazakhstan. So I know your reaction right now. Kazakhstan? Specifically if you are European, so because I guess a lot of Central Asian people might not see my video because I don't have much of people in this area watching in my network. But listen, if you're from Europe, to be honest with you, Kazakhstan has a lot to offer. I personally, when I arrived 1 month and a half now, almost 2 months that I'm here, when I arrived, personally, it was a very interesting surprise, a very good surprise. I didn't know what to expect before I arrived. I didn't, to be honest. I make my researches, as always. You know, I'm used to make some market research. That's also why I'm here, okay, on a business purpose. But I didn't know what the lifestyle is about. I didn't know what, the food is about. I did guess maybe a little bit about the Asian food, right? Because obviously this is Central Asia, but I didn't know much. People, except for the fact that it's speaking Russians mostly. Of course, they have a local languages called Kazakhstan, the Kazakh. Might be wrong right here, but I know we say they either speak Kazakh or Russian. That's what I know. But I didn't know all of this. And when I arrived, to be honest, on the first day, it's been a very good surprise, but also a bit of comfort. So I believe this will be more interesting for Europeans. If you are from the Europe area, you might be interested in learning about Kazakhstan a little bit more. So I have broke down a little bit of some segment to go through this beautiful country and observe, and I explore, obviously, and I also connect and meet quite some interesting people, some top leaders of the country. So I can get right into the source and talk about the economy of the country. But before I give some numbers, I just want to express my point of view of this country. To be honest, I have Caribbean background, so if it was not for my family to get to stay close to my family, to be honest, this is a country where I can definitely live in. I can definitely stay in Kazakhstan. If you looking for a safe place to build your family, for example, if you want kids and you want them to feel safe and be independent, and have a very good education system, Kazakhstan, believe it or not, Kazakhstan is one of them. Kazakhstan can provide. Kazakhstan has it all, specifically to raise kids. This country is definitely, even me being, as a solo traveler, I have rarely been in a country where you feel pretty strongly that everything is mainly about, I would say, entertaining families. You have a lot of kids in the street, a lot of kids activity as well to do, which I found definitely amazing. I found this very good. I found this very, to be honest, at least I didn't mention, but I am currently in Kazakhstan, Almaty city, the Almaty city. So what I observe, it's about Almaty, and of course, because it's also the economic center of the country, Almaty and Astana, they share both cities shares a little bit of the economy of the country. But to be honest with you, you walk in the street and it's just there. It's just like a lot of kids, a lot of family. And by the way, I will give a hands up as well for fathers in this country who are very much committed in their kids' life, because I walk in the street and I see a lot of fathers, walking with the kids, even babies. They are taking their father's role from A to Z. So congratulations, gentlemen, in Kazakhstan, because this is really something like, as a woman, we pick up this pretty easily. But yeah, it's a very nice country. So now let's get to the nitty-gritty of the country. I put together a few notes, so I will share with you. So, big overview and background of this country geographically and demographically. Kazakhstan is the world's largest landlord country, spanning Central Asia and a small part of Eastern Europe as well. So, in population is about 20 to 21 million. And the country is very sparsely populated, with much of its territory being steppe, desert, mountains, and semi-arid lands. Semi-arid lands. I have to say it well, practicing my English. In terms of history, quick words. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, as we already know, in 91, Kazakhstan became independent. Since then, it has balanced between maintaining stability, building institution, and slowing as well, slowing reforming its economy. So the political system is somewhat centralized. To be honest, as a foreigner personally, it seems like everything is really stable. It seems to be okay. Now, I'm not telling you that maybe tomorrow everything going to collapse, but to be honest, they make a lot of changes in terms of their political system, and which make you feel a little bit more secure, a little bit more stable, and also in terms of the economy remain stable. Let's go now a little bit more into the lifestyle and the society of Kazakhstan. So, to understanding how people live, gives context to investment risk and opportunities. Apologize. So, in terms of urban vs rural, okay. So a large share of the population lives in city like Almaty, like I said, like where I am right now in Almaty, and of course Astana and Shymkent, which is those three cities are mainly running the economy of Kazakhstan. Rural regions see more traditional lifestyle, agriculture, and lower incomes. Makes sense. I mean, even if you are in Canada, for example, where I'm pretty much familiar, rurals, or like everybody knows that rural area brings less of the driving incomes than if you stay in the urban area. You have a standard of living and income. So the GDP per capita is around 14,700 USD. That's approximately the estimate for 2025 in Kazakhstan. And the Human Development Index, HDI, is relatively high for the region, indicating relatively better social outcome compared to many peers. However, inequality and regional disparity are real. Remote area may lack infrastructure, services, and opportunities. In terms of culture and the norm, Kazakhstan is ethnically diverse, with Kazakh forming the majority, but sizable Russian, Uzbek from Uzbekistan, Ukrainian, and other minorities. So based on my experience, once again, you do have a lot of Kazakhs in a mix with Russians, a bit like probably literally the last percentage of some European, but is mainly Asian type, Russian type. That's what you will find here in Kazakhstan. Multilingual environment, so they speak Kazakh, they speak Russian mainly, and a little bit of English, to be honest with you. I will be honest with you, there is still some work to do in terms of speaking English. I found myself lost, but I did learn a little bit of Russian. And to be honest with you, I speak already 6 languages. So I love languages. I don't complain much about the fact that if I go to a country, they don't speak English. That's okay. In my point of view, this is their decision. That's what they want and they don't want. And as a French citizen, I also know my French people would refuse at some point to speak English as well, unless you stay in Paris. But other than that, we don't make much more effort on these languages. I'm an exception. So, yeah, obviously Kazakhstan as well is still, they still have some improvement to do in terms of speaking English. But obviously, once again, and it makes sense, top CEOs and leaders of the country, the majority of them, I would say the majority of them, because you do have some of them who do not speak English, but the majority of them does actually speak English. Social services, education and healthcare are available more strongly in urban areas. Rural areas may lag. In terms of social services, I heard that they had a pretty good one, but I can't really give you more details on that side. However, yes, for having discuss this with locals, they're pretty much happy with their social services. And in terms of infrastructure and connectivity, the major cities have decent infrastructure, road, airport, telecoms. However, in more remote regions, transportation, power, and digital connectivity can be challenging. Once again, I am personally in Almaty, and it's like normal life in big city. Like, I don't like about anything. The streets are great, well built, but I do know that if you go outside of the big city, obviously it becomes a little bit more challenging. The roads are still on the progress and on and on. Let's go now to, I think, what's gonna be more interesting to my fellow investors. If you ever looking for investment opportunity, and that's going to be the economy of the country. So, Kazakhstan, largest country in Central Asia. We can see this in the map, right? Kazakhstan has the largest economy in Central Asia in both absolute terms and per capita terms among its neighbors. Kazakhstan drive Central Asia. Kazakhstan is the business hub of Central Asia. Kazakhstan has it all. That's it. In terms of the natural resources and commodity economy is the economy is resource rich, depends heavily on extraction, oil, natural gas and minerals and metals and uranium. Very, very, very strong here in Kazakhstan. And that's why they are the business hub of Central Asia. Around 35% of the GDP and about 75% of export revenue is said to be tied to oil, gas, and mineral sectors, and many analyses, like I just mentioned. Growth rate and recent performance. In the first half of 2025, the economy grew per 6.2% year on year. One of the strongest half-year performance is over a decade. Okay? So in 2024, growth was more moderate, between 4 to 4.4%. Forecasts for 2025 often target 4.5 and 5% growth, supported by one-off oil production increases, public investment, very strong, and that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this today. Basically, right now, Kazakhstan is the place to invest. Like, they have opportunities for international investors, as well as, of course, inside local investors, but public investment is something that is huge here, to be honest. Diversification effort, recognizing the dangers of commodity dependence. The government has prioritized diversifying into manufacturing, logistics, digital economy, value-added processing, especially in agriculture and mining, infrastructure, and clean energy. For example, the President Tokayev, I see it well, Tokayev has pushed initiative in manufacturing cluster, metals, machinery, fertilizers as well, and processing sectors. So basically, I literally need you to right now pay attention to this, because Kazakhstan, just like that, doesn't maybe ring the bell to you. But hey, you want to invest, if you are into construction businesses and oil and gas, that's I think the place right now in 2025. That's definitely the place to invest right now. And I'm getting a little bit of water. Set. Okay, let's carry on. Where I was. Okay, so now institutional and regulatory environment. Kazakhstan offer investment guarantees, state protection, non-interference clauses, contractual regimes for certain investment. So the country ranks moderately on economic freedom, not among the freest, but not the worst either. The government promote one-stop shop system for investors, streamline permit mechanisms, etc. Still, corruption, political risk, bureaucratic inefficiency, and localized challenges remain. And I agree. Let's be honest about it. Yes, I agree. But this is compared once again to large economic country like USA or Europe, and probably China. I mean, if you compare to them, it does come with some challenges. Now, if you are used to, I would say, one of those others emerging market, because Kazakhstan is an emerging market, and yeah, I mean, administration challenges is part of the game, but once again, it's about, when it comes to investment in general, connect with the right investment professional in the country, mostly consulting investment company or lawyers, and they will be supporting you and helping you in this process. So, but yeah, you need to be aware that in any emerging market, this is part of the challenges. You can't change it. That's it. Administration slowing down and some, yeah, still corruption, political risk, bureaucratic inefficiency. Yes, challenges that remain. There are challenges that remain. Many investors sit risk around permitting, enforcement, and policies consistency, and this is an information that I'm learning right now as well. Challenges and vulnerabilities, sorry. Commodity price risk, heavy reliance on oil, mineral export makes the economy sensitive to swing the global commodity markets. Like I just also mentioned previously, heavy reliance on oil and minerals. Of course, exports makes the economy sensitive to swing in global commodity market. And this is just making sense. The environment and climate risk, resource extraction, water scarcity in parts, and environmental degradation are concerned. I will make a point on the water. It happens, true, even where I am right now, even in Almaty. True. I remain open on this one. Water issues happen quite frequently here. Political governance risk stability is relatively good. So like I said previously, in terms of the political system, it seems to be okay. No big dramas, no big up and downs. So let's say that it's relatively good, but the decision at the top can shift policy. No surprise here. Infrastructure bottlenecks. Some regions still lack good roads, power, and connectivity, which can raise costs, of course. Currency, as in many emerging markets, currency depreciation, inflation, and external debt pressure are relevant. Okay. Finally, Kazakhstan lies between great powers, so Russia, China, which can bring both opportunity and pressure. Sanction, trade shift, and rivalry can impact. So those are information, to be honest, that I just, look into on the web to source, okay, because I want you to get the full picture of if you ever want to invest in Kazakhstan. But to be honest with you, me right now talking to CEOs, to business owners, to also politicians, they are open to international investment, and they are open also to work on make it works. It really, really, really is a big point here, because once again, I just said, you have they are between great powers, between Russia and China. So basically, they don't have any other choices than also rely on international investment. Have you heard this? They rely on international investment. They need it. So is it worth it now to invest in Kazakhstan? I put some pros and cons. So you have high growth potential, you have underserved lower competition, and you have government support and incentive, like I just mentioned. Strategic location and resource advantage. Good. Here are the cons. Policy and political risk, execution and infrastructure risk, currency micro risk, regulatory complexity, competition and market development, and geopolitical exposure. Those are the cons. And I put together as well some sectors that are promising if you ever want to get into any investment deals here in Kazakhstan. So here are the sectors. Energy, of course. Energy and clean renewable energy. Big mention here. Yeah, a lot of top leaders are chasing this industry, are pushing for this industry. So big insight. Energy and clean or renewable energy. Mining and critical minerals. Second point. Logistic, transportation and trade corridors. Yes. Agriculture, agro-processing, big here as well in Kazakhstan. Digital economy, fintech, boom, a big boom, big boom. Fintech here, let's be honest, it's a big boom. Like they literally, yeah, I've seen a bunch of fintech just opening right now, and actually the first unicorn of the country is going to be as well tech company, not a fintech but a tech company, um and it very much but into the digital economy as well, in ICT and fintech. So it's a big boom here in as well in Kazakhstan. And of course, real estate, urban infrastructure, and education, health, and social infrastructure. And this is it for me, from my side, in terms of Kazakhstan and all the beauty that this country has to offer, from the lifestyle to the investment side of it. And of course, it's always about exploring, connecting, and investing. So I hope I help you a little bit to understand about Kazakhstan. For me, once again, wonderful surprise, wonderful highlight, a country that is definitely deserved to be visited, to be discovered, to be seen. If you love mountain, nature, I mean, it's pretty much Kazakhstan for me. It's like a little Switzerland, for example, or bigger, should I say, because it's bigger than Switzerland. Bigger Switzerland, a lot of mountains and nature. And of course, if you like the ski in winter is definitely a big culture here. And of course, once again, I will push it for family environment. Safe, definitely safe for kids, definitely good for raising them. Um, everything here is about family, that this is literally a culture thing. Actually, it would feel weird if you do not have a family, if you, you know what I mean? Whether you're a man or a woman, it will feel weird for people, for you to not be into this idea of the family, the family thing. So, and I know a lot of people today are wondering where to go to be safe, where to raise their kids. Don't be afraid. Kazakhstan is open to it. And that's it for Kazakhstan for me. I think by my next video, I'm probably going to be back to Europe. Once again, I am unpredictable. I'm always traveling. I'm always around the world, but I love to connect with you. So I will do my best to remain connected, but don't forget, of course, to follow me on my social media. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram is my biggest platform. But of course, if you want to know about everything about investment and growth and support in terms of global economy and growth, and to save your finances, follow me on YouTube, Stiffy's Talk Show. I'm always there for you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop down comments right here. I will be more than happy to answer to your question. Thank you very much for today, and I will see you to the next video. This is Steph. Bye.